This week in our series on the new normal, we're looking at how the coronavirus has affected the retail industry and the way we shop. Retail sales fell by record numbers last month, and clothing stores led the way with a more than 78% drop in sales from March after stores shut down all across the country. JCPenney became the latest national retailer to file for bankruptcy protection as Americans turn increasingly to shopping online. However, Nordstrom is welcoming shoppers back at dozens of its stores, and Mireya Villarreal was there for a reopening in Dallas.
Ready? It's time.
The reopening of this Dallas Nordstrom was a hopeful reminder of the way things used to be for both customers and staff.
You know, we've been sitting in front of a Zoom screen for the last 2 months, and I just want to get some new clothes and feel like it's spring and summer and there's some normalcy.
Nationwide, retailers are trying to figure out what that normalcy looks like for shoppers in the era of coronavirus. In San Francisco, it's only curbside pickup for now, but in this Wisconsin toy store, masks are optional for customers. Earlier this month, Kohl's opened dozens of stores in several states. They've closed fitting rooms and designated special hours for at-risk shoppers.
Customer walks in and they'd like a mask.
Back at this Dallas Nordstrom, employees wore masks and gloves. PPE was available at the entrance for customers, and there was a steady stream of cleaning in every department. These doors aren't open.
No.
Okay.
We are limiting the number of people that are in our building, so one way in and one way out.
And that helps you count.
It helps us count customers in.
At checkout, a shield separates customers from the sales clerk, and of course, more hand sanitizer.
Thank you.
Everybody wearing masks, a lot of people wearing gloves, a lot of sanitizer around. Some people would say, like, this doesn't feel like real shopping, but is this the unfortunate new norm that we're dealing with right now?
Well, I think that's hard to say. I think we're going to be doing everything we possibly can.
Jamie Nordstrom, the president of Nordstrom Stores, explains the new normal is a moving target.
We might find that some of those things may not be necessary over the long term.
Nordstrom's opened up in 1901 as a shoe store, so it was important to them to reopen this department safely. So here's how it works. Let's just say you try on a pair of shoes and you don't like it. That item goes into quarantine for 72 hours before anybody else can try it on. Were there any items that you guys decided we probably need to put this on hold, or we're not selling this?
We started with talking to a lot of retailers in Asia who, are a few months ahead of us in this. There hasn't been any specific merchandise that's been problematic. I think mostly it's around services. You think in our beauty department, we do a lot of makeovers. You're literally touching the customer. We can't do that right now. We do a lot of tailoring.
The retail industry brought in nearly $4 trillion last year, employing roughly 52 million Americans. Matt Shea is president and CEO of the National Retail Federation. The group estimates 7 million retail jobs could be lost due to the pandemic.
As the retail industry goes, so goes the economy. And we need those businesses, large and small, to support those communities and deliver products and services, but also to create employment opportunities for those millions of Americans who will be impacted if we don't.
The retail industry supports more than a quarter of the U.S. workforce. And although Nordstrom says they have a strong online presence, they also tell us more than 70% of their business comes from brick and mortar stores just like this one. And that's why they are opening 62 more stores later this week. Tony?
That's some good news and really interesting report, Mireya. I know when you go shoe shopping, you got to make sure your style is there and they have it in your size. But as you mentioned, now you got to also make sure that your shoe is not in quarantine because some other customer touched it in the last 72 hours. Really interesting stuff. The new normal indeed.